Welcome, beautiful damsels. The most dangerous woman is the one who fears nothing. Not failure, not judgment, and certainly not fitting in. Throughout history, the boldest individuals have always been the ones willing to rewrite the rules, and fearless Sigma females are no exception. Did you know that studies show fear is often more paralyzing than actual failure itself? Yet, Sigma females flip that script entirely. They don't just conquer fear, they use it as fuel. Imagine walking into a room and not caring if anyone approves of you. Not because you're arrogant, but because you've mastered the art of thriving on your own terms. That's the Sigma female in action. But let's get real. Being fearless isn't about skydiving or wrestling crocodiles, although that would be impressive. It's about the subtle, everyday habits that make these women unstoppable forces of nature. Today, we're diving into the 10 habits that only the most fearless Sigma females have. Prepare to be inspired, intrigued, and maybe even laugh at the audacity of these women who refuse to back down from life's challenges. Ready? Let's unravel what makes them truly untouchable. Number 1, they reframe rejection into data. Rejection is something most people dread. It stings, it bruises the ego, and it often makes you second-guess yourself. But for fearless Sigma females, rejection is something else entirely, a goldmine of information. They don't sit around sulking or letting it define their worth. Instead, they treat it like feedback, data they can use to fine-tune their approach, sharpen their instincts, and grow stronger. When someone tells a Sigma no, she doesn't spiral into self-pity. She asks herself, what can I learn from this? Was it the timing, the delivery, or was it simply the wrong person or situation? To her, rejection isn't a dead end. It's a clue pointing her in a better direction. Fearless Sigma females have a knack for stripping the emotional weight off rejection and looking at it for what it really is, a reaction, not a verdict. This approach gives her an edge over most people. While others see rejection as a reason to stop, she sees it as an opportunity to pivot and improve. It's why she never stays stuck in one place for too long. Whether it's a failed relationship, a business deal gone south, or even a missed opportunity, a Sigma female understands that rejection is temporary, but the lessons it brings can be lifelong. Fearless Sigma females also know that rejection often says more about the other person than it does about them. Not everyone will recognize their value, and that's okay. They don't shrink to fit someone else's expectations. Instead, they collect the data, adjust their strategy, and keep moving forward, stronger, smarter, and completely unfazed. To a Sigma, rejection isn't personal, it's just part of the process. Number 2, they deconstruct fear to make it powerless. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions, and for most people, it's like an invisible cage that keeps them from trying, moving, or growing. But fearless Sigma females approach fear differently. They don't let it control them because they know something most people don't. Fear only has power if you let it. Instead of running from it, they break it down until it loses its grip. For them, fear is like a puzzle, not a monster. They ask themselves, what exactly am I afraid of? What's the worst that can happen? And more importantly, how much of this fear is real, and how much is just in my head? By dissecting fear piece by piece, they expose its weak spots. Most of the time, they find it's not nearly as big or dangerous as it seems. Fear thrives on uncertainty, but fearless Sigma females replace that uncertainty with clarity. They also understand that fear is often a signal, not a stop sign. It points out areas where they need to grow or take action. Instead of seeing fear as the enemy, they see it as a guide. They don't deny it, they confront it, question it, and then decide what to do next. This doesn't mean they don't feel scared, they do. But they've trained themselves to move forward anyway, because they know the cost of staying still is far greater. This mindset makes them almost unstoppable. While most people are stuck worrying about what if, Sigma females are already on the other side of fear, proving that it was nothing but an illusion. Their ability to deconstruct fear, to strip it of its mystery and power, is what sets them apart. It's how they keep growing, even in the face of what others would find terrifying. Number 3. They think in systems, not goals. Most people set goals and focus entirely on hitting them. They think success is a straight line from point A to point B. But fearless Sigma females operate on a different level. They think in systems. To them, goals are temporary milestones, but systems are what keep them moving forward no matter what. This shift in perspective is why they don't get stuck in the highs and lows of life. They're always playing the long game. When a Sigma female wants something, she doesn't obsess over the end result. Instead, she asks herself, what habits, routines, or strategies will help me grow consistently, even if the goal changes? She knows life is unpredictable, and rigidly chasing a single outcome can lead to burnout, frustration, or missed opportunities. By focusing on building systems, she creates a structure that adapts to her needs. For example, if she wants to get in shape, she doesn't just aim to lose 10 pounds. Instead, she builds a system of eating better, exercising regularly, and prioritizing her health. Whether she hits the exact number or not doesn't matter as much because the system guarantees long-term improvement. It's the same with her career, relationships, or personal growth. Thinking in systems also keeps her calm under pressure. If a goal doesn't work out, she doesn't see it as failure because her system is still intact. She can pivot, adjust, and keep going without losing momentum. This is what separates her from others who crumble when things don't go as planned. For a Sigma female, the process is where the real power lies. Goals are nice, but systems are unstoppable. This mindset allows her to thrive in chaos, adapt to change, and achieve more than most people could even dream of. Number 4. They silence their inner critic, not their inner instinct. The inner critic is one of the loudest voices most people hear in their heads. It whispers doubts, shouts failures, and loves to drag up every embarrassing moment like it's on a highlight reel. But fearless Sigma females have mastered the art of silencing that voice. They don't waste time battling themselves. Instead, they turn down the volume on their inner critic and turn up the dial on their inner instinct. Sigma females know the difference between constructive self-awareness and destructive self-doubt. The inner critic thrives on insecurity and keeps people stuck in cycles of overthinking. Sigma females don't give it the time of day. They recognize it for what it is, a survival mechanism from a time when humans had to worry about actual life or death situations. But in modern life, it's just noise. So they shut it out and tune into something far more valuable: their intuition. Their instincts aren't clouded by fear or self-sabotage. They trust their gut because it's guided by their values, experiences, and a deep understanding of themselves. When they make decisions, they don't second-guess endlessly or worry about pleasing everyone. They move forward with confidence because they know their instincts are rarely wrong. This doesn't mean they're reckless. They evaluate risks, consider options, and make smart choices. But they don't allow their inner critic to paralyze them. It's a delicate balance of self-trust and self-awareness. They're their own harshest judge when it matters, but they don't let that voice crush their ambition or courage. By silencing their inner critic and trusting their instincts, fearless Sigma females cut through the mental clutter that holds most people back. This clarity gives them the freedom to act boldly, even when others hesitate. It's not arrogance. It's an unshakable belief in their ability to figure things out. Number 5, they navigate uncertainty as if it's familiar terrain. Most people freeze when they're faced with uncertainty. They panic, overthink, or cling to what feels safe, even if it's holding them back. But fearless Sigma females, they walk into uncertainty like it's familiar territory, as if they've been navigating the unknown their whole lives. It's not because they have all the answers. They don't. It's because they've learned how to stay steady even when the ground beneath them shifts. To them, uncertainty isn't a threat. It's an invitation to adapt, grow, and discover. They understand that life rarely gives guarantees, and waiting for certainty is a recipe for staying stuck. Instead of fearing the unknown, they embrace it with curiosity and resilience. They know that uncertainty is where growth happens. It's the space between where you are and where you want to be. What sets them apart is their ability to break uncertainty into manageable pieces. They focus on what they can control, even if it's something as small as their mindset or the next step they need to take. They don't waste time stressing over things they can't change. This practical approach keeps them moving forward, even when the path isn't clear. Sigma females also rely on their ability to stay calm under pressure. They've trained themselves to trust that no matter what happens, they'll figure it out. This confidence doesn't come from arrogance. It comes from experience. They've faced challenges before and survived. That history of overcoming gives them the courage to walk into the unknown without flinching. While others fear the chaos of uncertainty, Sigma females thrive in it. They see it as a chance to test their strength, expand their limits, and discover new opportunities. In a world obsessed with control, they've mastered the art of letting go, and that makes them unstoppable. Number 6, they redefine winning constantly. For most people, winning is a fixed idea, crossing a finish line, landing a job, or achieving a specific goal. But fearless Sigma females don't see it that way. To them, winning isn't a one-size-fits-all concept. It's something they redefine constantly to match their growth, values, and priorities. This ability to change what success means is why they stay ahead, while others burn out chasing outdated definitions of achievement. Sigma females understand that life isn't static. What feels like a win today might not serve them tomorrow. Instead of clinging to traditional ideas of success, they adapt. They ask themselves, what does winning mean for me right now? Sometimes it's about climbing higher. Other times it's about stepping back, recharging, or saying no to things that don't align with their purpose. This mindset protects them from the trap of comparison. While others are busy measuring themselves against societal standards or someone else's progress, Sigma females are focused on their own journey. They don't care about trophies or applause. They care about living authentically. They refuse to let external validation define their worth or dictate their path. Redefining winning also keeps them resilient. When a plan doesn't work out, they don't spiral into despair. Instead, they pivot and find another way to create value. To them, a loss is just a stepping stone to the next opportunity. They see challenges not as dead ends, but as chances to grow, learn, and recalibrate. By constantly redefining what it means to win, Sigma females stay flexible, grounded, and in control of their lives. They aren't trapped by expectations or weighed down by the fear of failure. Instead, they create their own rules, set their own pace, and win on their own terms, every single time. Number 7, they exploit the power of controlled chaos. Most people avoid chaos like the plague. It's messy, unpredictable, and uncomfortable. But fearless Sigma females, they lean into it and even use it to their advantage. They understand that chaos isn't always the enemy. It's often where the most powerful opportunities hide. Instead of letting it overwhelm them, they figure out how to control it, directing its energy towards something productive. Controlled chaos isn't about letting everything fall apart. It's about knowing when to shake things up to break through stagnation or push limits. Sigma females thrive in this space because they're not afraid to disrupt the status quo. They know that clinging to perfect order can be a trap, stifling creativity and growth. Chaos, when managed wisely, forces innovation and resilience. They use this strategy in their work, relationships, and personal growth. When things start feeling too predictable or routine, they stir the pot just enough to keep things interesting. Maybe they take on a challenge they're not fully prepared for, switch up their approach, or dive headfirst into unfamiliar territory. They create tension, not for the sake of drama, but to test themselves and stretch their limits. This ability to thrive in controlled chaos makes them incredibly adaptable. While others are panicking, trying to restore a sense of normalcy, Sigma females are already 2 steps ahead, using the chaos to uncover new paths and possibilities. They aren't reckless, though. They know where the line is and never let the chaos spiral out of their control. What truly sets them apart is their mindset. Where most people see chaos as a reason to quit, Sigma females see it as a playground for growth. They don't just survive the storm. They learn how to harness it, turning unpredictability into their greatest weapon. It's risky, but for them, it's where the magic happens. Number 8, they weaponize empathy without overusing it. Empathy is often seen as a soft skill, something people use to connect with others or show they care. But fearless Sigma females know that empathy isn't just about being nice, it's a tool they can use to understand, influence, and navigate the world on their own terms. They've mastered the art of using empathy without overusing it, making it a strategic asset rather than a weakness. What sets them apart is how they tap into empathy at the right moment. They can pick up on the unspoken emotions of others, the hidden agendas, or the things people won't say aloud. This ability to tune into what's really going on beneath the surface gives them an edge in both personal and professional situations. They can read people and situations with startling accuracy, often knowing exactly how to approach someone or handle a situation based on their emotional intelligence. However, they don't let this power consume them. Sigma females are very careful about when and how they give their emotional energy. They understand that not everyone deserves their empathy, and they don't waste it on people who won't appreciate or reciprocate it. They're selective about who they let into their emotional world, and they guard their boundaries fiercely. This makes them hard to manipulate or take advantage of. Empathy, for them, isn't about fixing everyone's problems. It's about understanding what makes people tick, and using that insight to protect themselves, build alliances, or make better decisions. They're not afraid to challenge others or set boundaries when necessary, but they do it with a deep understanding of the dynamics at play. This balance makes them incredibly persuasive and respected. They use empathy as a quiet but powerful weapon, knowing when to lean into it and when to pull back. Number 9. They make unapologetic micro-disruptions. Fearless Sigma. Females aren't afraid to make waves. In fact, they do it on purpose. They make unapologetic micro-disruptions, small, calculated actions that shake up the norm and force people to think or behave differently. It's not about being disruptive for the sake of drama. They know that a little disruption can create major change. These micro-disruptions are their way of challenging the status quo, making a point, or simply asserting their independence in environments that expect conformity. What makes these micro-disruptions so powerful is that they're never random. Sigma females don't do things to get attention or stir up chaos for no reason. Every move is intentional, crafted to shift perspectives or challenge outdated thinking. Whether it's questioning a widely accepted idea, interrupting a toxic pattern, or refusing to play by conventional rules, they do it in a way that doesn't scream for attention, but quietly demands it. These disruptions can be as simple as saying no when everyone else is saying yes, speaking up when the room falls silent, or choosing a path that others deem too risky. It's in the small, everyday choices that Sigma females carve out space for their true selves and shake up the predictable flow of life. They know that big change starts with these small, often unnoticed shifts. And because they're so quiet about it, they have an uncanny ability to go under the radar. People might not even realize they've been disrupted until they see things differently. But by the time others catch on, it's too late. The Sigma female has already moved on to the next challenge, continuing to make her subtle but undeniable mark on the world around her. This ability to disrupt with finesse is what makes them so formidable. Number 10. They develop quiet resilience through ruthless ownership. Sigma females don't wait for life to hand them things. They take full ownership of everything they do. They don't make excuses, and they certainly don't play the victim. Instead, they accept responsibility for their actions and their outcomes, no matter how tough or uncomfortable that might be. This isn't about being hard on themselves. It's about realizing that control over their life starts with taking ownership, fully and unapologetically. Where others might shy away from their mistakes or blame the world for their problems, Sigma females look in the mirror. They know that the only way to move forward is to own what's theirs, whether it's a failure, a misstep, or even a missed opportunity. They don't waste energy on regret or resentment. Instead, they use those experiences to fuel their next move. This kind of quiet resilience isn't about being perfect. It's about learning from every single experience, good or bad, and using those lessons to become stronger and more focused. Sigma females embrace the challenge of owning their path, even when it's difficult or requires them to stand alone. They don't need validation or external praise. They find their strength in knowing they control their own narrative. Their ability to take ruthless ownership also means they're not easily shaken by setbacks. They know that nothing worth having comes easily, and they never expect the road to be smooth. So when things get tough, they don't crumble. Instead, they use every obstacle as an opportunity to prove to themselves that they can handle it. They remain steady, focused, and unfazed, because they know that real power comes from within. In the end, their ownership over their life creates the foundation for everything they build. Fearless Sigma females are a rare breed, blending intellect, strength, and an unapologetic drive for independence in a way that's both magnetic and untouchable. They don't follow the crowd or seek approval. They create their own path and move through the world on their own terms. It's their ability to navigate life's challenges with precision, resilience, and a quiet confidence that sets them apart from the rest. What truly defines them isn't just their refusal to conform, but their mastery of the unseen forces that drive success. The way they embrace chaos, use empathy strategically, disrupt with purpose, and take ownership of everything they do. These habits are what make them not just survivors, but trailblazers. They understand that the road less traveled is often the most rewarding, and they walk it without hesitation or fear. If you're ever in doubt about the power of a Sigma female, just observe how they handle life. They don't need validation or permission to thrive. They've already figured out the secret. The world bends to those who refuse to be anything but authentic. So, whether they're deconstructing fear, making waves in silence, or owning their journey with ruthless clarity, the fearless Sigma female is the one who quietly commands respect and leads by example. She's not just a force of nature, she's a force to be reckoned with. If you've been captivated by the power, the wisdom, and the unapologetic confidence of the fearless Sigma female, then trust me, you're not going to want to miss what's coming next. If you want to continue unlocking the secrets of strength, independence, and how to navigate life with the same unwavering focus and fearlessness, make sure you hit that subscribe button. This channel isn't just about inspiration, it's about transformation. So join the movement, stay ahead of the curve, and let's continue to break boundaries together. You're part of something extraordinary now. Let's make it even more unstoppable. Subscribe and stay tuned for what's next. Thanks, damsels, for tuning in. See you in the next vid. Bye and stay blessed.